Welcome to Sports Keeda and Let's Talk Sport. We're bringing you build-up to Manchester City versus Leicester City. Two cities collide in Manchester, and really it's a big night on Monday night. Bank holiday for some, but not for these players. There's no rest for them.
No rest for them, no.
No rest for them. Maybe in the summer, but not now, because Manchester City have a Premier League title to fight for, while Leicester, well, for Leicester it's just carrying on as they are under Brendan Rodgers. They're playing very well at the moment. Let's not forget the Arsenal result back on Sunday, where they beat them 3-0 at the King Power. They certainly were kings that afternoon in the Premier League. Can they do it again though? Let's not forget, Conor, 2016 in February the 6th, I remember it really well, Leicester City had to go to Manchester City to kind of remind us and prove to us that they were going to go on to win the Premier League, and they won by 3-1. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen this time, but
a lot's changed since then.
But Leicester are known still, no matter where they go or whether they're at home, they can cause an upset now and again, and I honestly think that this might be Liverpool's last chance to take over in the table and go first, because of course they played before this fixture, and if they beat Newcastle they'll be top, so then the pressure's on Man City. So Conor, what do you think? Do you think Leicester are the last hope for Liverpool to win the league title?
Well, Liverpool have to win their games first. If they don't win their games, then they're not going to get anywhere near the Premier League title.
As they used to.
So they got to do that. But if they do win their games, then yeah, I think this Leicester game could be the final hurdle that City have to get over before we crown them as Premier League champions. Sure, Brighton will be a tough game at the end of the season, but Brighton are also very much struggling with their form at the moment. I think they've only picked up 2 points in the last couple of games or so. They drew at the weekend against Newcastle 1-1, so it's not been great form for them. Leicester, though, is a completely different team. Jamie Vardy's been absolutely fantastic since Brendan Rodgers came into the football club. Yuri Tillemans as well, being tipped for a move to the top 6 team. Looking great there. We all know what the likes of Pereira and Harry Maguire can do in defence for Leicester as well. They've been great this season. Chilwell too. So there's plenty of players at Leicester Football Club that can cause an impact on the game. It's whether or not they'll be able to do so in the environment such as the Etihad against a team like Manchester City, in a situation where they need to pick up all 3 points in order to secure another Premier League title for them this season. The disappointing thing is that one of these teams, whether it be Liverpool or City, is going to not win the Premier League title despite having over 90 points, which is such a shame for them, because pretty much on any other season they would have won the league, barring last season as well, with how well City performed then. But the way that City played against Burnley last time out, winning that game by 1-0, I think that was the most stressful game that they'll have now between now and the end of the season. Just playing at home for them has been completely different. You only have to look back at other games that they played at home this season against the likes of Liverpool and Manchester United as well, dismantling them. And I think with Leicester City as well, with the situation it's been in too, I don't see City putting another foot wrong, really. They don't have to focus on Champions League. They're out of that competition. It's literally between now and then. They've got a week between games, essentially over a week, because they played on the Sunday and then they're playing on the bank holiday. So plenty of time for them to recuperate. And I think City should be able to see it out, really.
It's interesting because I just can't see Man City not winning.
Yeah,
it's just how I feel. I mean,
it's not that Liverpool aren't great. I think it's just City are fantastic.
Yeah. I think both teams deserve credit no matter what. But as you say, someone's got to win it, someone's got to lose it. And I think the way I'm seeing it now is I think Leicester are the last hope. I mean, Brighton at home I think on the day are a dangerous team against anyone. But as you say, the form's not there with them. But Man City and Liverpool have taken the mick out of the league in my eyes. They have gone up by a million steps higher than anybody else.
The point where it could change is if Leicester really go for it and don't let City play their game. I
think if City score early, as in Man City, I think it's already over.
That's the issue, though. The City have been scoring early.
Yeah,
in a lot of games.
They love doing that.
I think it was like the only United game recently that they haven't really scored an early goal. They scored early against Tottenham in the Champions League.
Burnley, they
didn't score early, but
we saw what they did against Spurs when they lost in the Champions League, where they needed 3 goals.
They got 4.
They got the 4 goals, and then Llorente got the goal at the end. But that's the problem. And once that switch is on, no one touches City at the Etihad, which is scary.
Yeah, and I think as well, if Leicester are going to catch them out, it has to be with their style of football, which does go against the way that goes well. Sorry, with the way that City play. City play with very much possession, and Leicester at the moment looking to counter-attack and just essentially unleash Vardy with long balls over the top, just as they did against Arsenal on the weekend. And I think that could work, but I think City's defence is very much more solid than what Arsenal had out with Mustafi and Socrates and Maitland-Niles.
It's an invisible wall, you mean?
Yeah, the difference between Mustafi and Laporte is, country miles going on ends and ends before you even get to the same level as each other. Them two.
Mustafi's even got a petition against him right now to go to jail. So that says it all.
Yeah, but we'll focus on City. Where it's going to be won and lost for City, I think it's going to be in their defence. I think the midfield and the attacking can get the better of Leicester's midfield and Leicester's defence. Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans, they're great, but they're not ones that are going to keep out Aguero, Sterling,
Johnny Evans might have a bit.
Mahrez if they comes onto the pitch or not.
I think Johnny Evans might have mixed emotions in this as well, with him being a former Red.
So that's where the battle between Leicester's forwards, whether it's going to be, Yuri Tielemans pushing forward, Maddison, Harvey Barnes, Damari Gray, if those two come off the bench. I think it was just Maddison and Yuri Tielemans that played up top behind Vardy against Arsenal. Can't remember anyone else really doing so. Charbary as well in the midfield, yeah. But yeah, I think if City's defence can hold and keep Leicester's attack out, then I think they'll win this game. If Leicester's able to break through and potentially score a goal, then we may see again a bit of squeaky bum time near the end of the game.
And a draw would be enough.
And a draw would be enough for Liverpool to potentially get themselves back onto the top of the table for the final day of the season. But unfortunately, I don't see it going that way. No. I think City are going to win this game by 3-1.
All right, so 3-1 says Conor. Let us know your predictions in the comments below.